Oh, I guess that's me. All right, we're back. This is Dave and Jen with the official NPL podcast, Inside the NPL, with the PT and the Professor, episode 2. Back at the Bend. KC Stinger Week was, well, Jen, how was it?
Oh, it was eventful. It was some really fun things that we had off the courts. We did a kids camp. We had a beautiful wine dinner and team breaker. But unfortunately, I think I may have jinxed us when we were talking to Scott and Molly, who had told us that the home court advantage in Denver led them to a impressive 0-4 record.
And what was our record, Jen?
And we repeated that. So home court advantage did not play out because David went down after his first. I mean, he gave it all to beat Headings and Hedberg. I've never seen you run so fast. I mean, you and Daryl played. That was such a good match, and then that was it. Then you were done. So on to the. I guess you did a lot of the with Ari the commentating on the matches, and then poor Scott Johnston went down on Sunday. So we had a really fun situation where we were out of subs, and Todd Chappelle, great guy from Kansas City, Kara Williams' friend, had just moseyed up to the bar for a beer and a burger, and we grabbed him. He went and bought shoes at Dick's, grabbed a demo paddle, and he filled in. So we were kind of all over the place with our weekend.
Yeah, it was mixed for me, obviously, but I really don't want to go into it to bring up back the painful memories of just watching everyone have a whole bunch of fun. So enough about the past. How about the future? Looking forward to Austin and everyone being there, including our 3 guests, all from the OKC Oklahoma City Punishers, best name in the league. We have John Hostetler, Patrick Cote, and Shay Coker. What up, fellas?
Hey, welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Jen and David.
Good to be here.
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here.
Well, I want to get right to it. So we wanted to have you on because we thought from our very first match, I think we actually played you our first match, that you might have the best 3-guy combo in the league. All right. And so I wanted to get your feelings on that now that we're about halfway. I'll start with Haas. Tell me a little bit about what it's like to have basically 3 pod 1 guys kind of mixing around. How do you manage that? Advantages, disadvantages, things like that.
Sure. I mean, obviously, it's a huge luxury to be able to mix and match with these 2 guys, Shay and Patrick. I do have to mention that, frankly, we have a couple other guys that Blake Arant from Dallas, who's new to the NPL this year, filled in at Pod 1 earlier this month, and did phenomenally well. And then, for our team, when you think about it, we've got a legend on our team in Steve Dawson, who not only has played just phenomenally well wherever we've put him, but he's also been just a real mentor to a lot of individuals on the team, and then really just to the team in general. So I don't even see it as just the 3 of us. I see our depth as a huge advantage for us. We don't have, I don't think, 2 guys that absolutely stand out as, those are the 2 pod 1 guys, or even 3 or 4. Sometimes it can be more than that. So I mean, that's a huge advantage. The disadvantages, frankly, are just how do we mix and match this to take full advantage and to match up well against whatever team we're playing. And I think Shay and I have some war stories about that. When we've played in Pod 1, we've had a couple of good matches and good wins, but we've also had some real tough ones where I don't think we played anywhere near to our potential. And we talked a little bit about that in a Zoom call on the team yesterday, where we were talking about how we just seem to start slow. So we're trying to address that. So it's really finding those combinations of what is going to work best. That is, kind of both an advantage and a disadvantage.
So Shay, John mentioned you. I'll go to you next then. You thought you would kind of be in one position when we had talked and we had played together earlier in the year, and then you ended up in another position. How are you feeling now halfway through the year?
Well, it was because of you that I was even considered for a Pod 1 position after our Daytona run. But I thought when I heard Patrick was coming along, it was a shock, but it was great. I mean, I knew something like that could potentially happen, but man, I mean, Patrick is a stud, and not only that, he is a right side stud that just can gel with anybody on our team. So it's it's been great to have him, and he's been locked in this year too.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick, I mean, I haven't been able to talk to you that much since the league has started, but to be honest, you do seem calmer, for lack of a better word. I don't know what to say. You seem to be enjoying it. Like, you seem to embrace your position. No one's position was more up in the air than yours. You were here, you were there, you were traded, you got this. Well, you got so halfway through. Tell me a little bit about how you're doing.
Yeah, I think I'm doing, I'm doing very well. I think it's still a work in progress because I think initially I'm just I'm an emotional person, and I'm also, I'm a little bit hard on myself on the court because I want to perform to the best of my ability. So I think that I'm still a work in progress, even though I would say that I have done better. The challenge for me is ultimately on outside the court, I'm actually, as a coach, I'm very loving and I'm very nice. And then when I get into that persona of playing in matches and competition, I do get, a little uptight because I just want to perform, to the best of my ability. So I'm not really a perfectionist in life, but when it comes to the court, I'm absolutely, sometimes a little too intense. And I know that my value as a player is good, but if I could just maximize, I'm not oblivious to the fact that, hey, if I can manage all of my emotions to target it to a positive aspect, I can not only help myself, I could come back and win matches even when they don't go my way. And I can also be a better support to my partner, which again, it's a challenge for me being an emotional person. And sometimes I go home and I'm like, I feel like crap really, because I'm like, gosh, I'm better than that. And I'm a lover. And then why in the world am I turning into that, unsatisfied beast and out on the court? And mainly also is this for me is like, because I coach, I see this game played in such a specific way that when we do go play inside with a soccer ball that makes the game very fast, it becomes a challenge for me because I just want to play a chess game out there and I want to play smooth, right? And I feel like I can do that super well. But then the game gets so fast that I get in my own head and I feel like I'm just not performing to the best of my ability, which takes me out a little bit of my comfort zone. So still a work in progress, and I'm definitely aware of how important it is to be the best person I can be in the end of all things.
Can I just add one thing?
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I just want to say that, we all know Patrick is a 1A guy. I mean, he is a 1A player on our team, and he has been such a great teammate in that he plays pod 1, pod 2, goes back and forth. And I think I've been really, really impressed with Patrick, how you have been not only flexible, but positive in general. And I've seen that effort on your side. So I appreciate that. And I think we all do.
Thank you.
And Patrick, we played a few times where you've been passionate. But the most fun is watching it back on your Facebook Live, because you come into I hate the bane of my existence is mixed doubles or whatever it was. So it's fun when you get to play Patrick, because then you get to watch the match back. So I think it's funny when you're doing that, because you're only mad at yourself. You're not exhibiting anger towards your partners, your opponents, but I think it's fun. So, and you're just, you're so gracious off the court. But okay, moving on. I want to have you guys we're going to keep it to a 1-minute bio. Patrick, you start. Tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, your background in sports.
Yeah, well, I'm a French Canadian, and my sports, I started with baseball and hockey because I'm from Montreal, right? And it's so cold out there. So I play lots of hockey, baseball. And I was really loving those sports. And then when I was about 15 years old, I actually started playing tennis, and really out of nowhere, because nobody in my family played tennis. But, I picked it up. Next thing you know, I play every day, love it. End up being actually a college tennis player in the U.S., coming from Canada and traveling the whole bit to get the experience, because I am a French Canadian. So English is my second language, but it turned out to be just a really fabulous experience for me to come to the U.S. and again speak English and the whole bit with sports. I also did play. I also went to college in Canada, so yeah, I have lots of education. But I went and played college badminton as well, which is really what I based my pickleball game is like a badminton game because it's very precise, very calculated, and a patience, to attack the ball. So I play very differently. I feel like even though I'm a tennis player and I can't hit as hard as John or Shay or Blake, but at the same time I could hit harder, but I just don't really play like that. So yeah.
Shay, you're up.
Well, these things are typically boring with me, but I grew up playing tennis and all other sports and played tennis for Texas Tech and, well, first of all, Rutgers in New Jersey. But I went about 15 or 20 years without playing tennis when I lived in Brazil. But when I got back, I moved to Miami and picked up tennis here, and then started playing paddle as well. And then a couple of my buddies, went back to Brazil, so my paddle games got harder to get. And so I picked up pickleball, and it's been almost 3 years, so it's been great.
Awesome. All right, John.
For me, I grew up playing baseball and mostly tennis in Southern California. Went to UC San Diego and played for the team there. And then, quit tennis for a while, got burnt out on that, came back to it, and I loved it even more in my 20s and 30s and 40s. And in terms of pickleball, I mean, my sister brought 4 wooden paddles and we played out on a tennis court one day. And, I kind of thought, oh, that was mildly fun. But, and then the next time she brought them out, we went to a place where people were actually playing. And I kind of looked at it and was like, ooh, that looks kind of interesting now that I see how it's actually played. And got home, Googled, where can I play pickleball? And sure enough, Bobby Riggs, where, Steve and Jen Dawson's club is a quarter of a mile from my house. And so in October of 2018, I basically went from 0 to 100 and playing 6 days a week, probably at that point, and getting in trouble here and there as my kids were still at home at that time. And there's some stories there that I won't go into, but I've been obsessed ever since.
And now Steve's your teammate. I mean, that's just amazing, full circle, where you started playing and now you're teammates competing.
Exactly.
That's so cool. That's like one of the best things about pickleball is like all these new friends. It's harder to find friends in your 50s. My kids are gone, but it's like, we're all friends. I mean, like people are staying with me for Chicago Open. When you go to, you have all these friends in all these different states and different partners to play with and teammates. So, I mean, that social aspect and making new friendships in our 50s is one of the, obviously competing again, but it's a definite, advantage to pickleball.
So I wanted to ask a little bit about kind of the philosophy around playing with different people, right? Because now you have the permutations are probably getting pretty high, not just you three, but you also mentioned Blake and Steve Dawson. So, anyone can answer this. Patrick, I want to start with you because you're kind of known as playing a certain way. I play very similar to you. You're known as a right side player. So do you adjust your game when you're playing with different partners, with John or Shay or someone else, or are you mainly focused on doing the things you do best?
Right. That's a great question. I love it. So the first thing I think for my situation where a team is John, Shay, and Blake, they all love their forehands and they're all pretty strong at it. So it really does provide a combinations that would work for me. Now, because we play inside with the Selkirk, I've played the most really with Blake. And so Blake being a college tennis player, Division I, really a good striker, I kind of go ahead and say, okay, we're going to play your style just because the style caters to playing inside. So I kind of let him do his thing. And in my own mind, I tell him, I'm like, hey, let's go with your big shots. Let's put some pressure. If this works, then we can roll with this. And if it ever doesn't, you're not feeling as comfortable and you don't feel like you're making, many of your shots, I can definitely relieve you and turn it up to more of a soft game. So either of those players and scenarios are playing in a little bit in the same way as I kind of let them dictate a little bit because they like that and they do take the left side, which, you know, caters to that. And then I kind of roll with the punches absolutely on that. And then for me, my personal strategy, though, it doesn't really change in a way because I'm not a big shake and bake, you know, player. So I kind of let them drive the thing and then I still hang back a little bit. I don't put a ton of pressure. And eventually my game is just putting the ball down and play a patient game where I counterpunch the bad attacks from my opponent. So, and it really works with all of those three guys because they have very strong shots and strong forehands.
So how about one of the strong forehands? Shay or John, are you adjusting your game when you play maybe with each other? Because you can probably be at yourself, your most aggressive self with Patrick. How is it playing with each other or Blake when you have another big hitter out there?
I think it's been a challenge for us to try to figure that out, and I don't think we're done experimenting. So,
Right.
you know, it's I think John really likes his forehand. I like my forehand, hate my backhand, and so yeah, there's some things to figure out and try to. I mean, I've played like a pod 3 or 4 player this year, so I've got to pick it up.
I don't believe that, God.
Oh, really?
Not true. I mean, for me, unfortunately, I'm not a very cerebral player. I play mostly by instinct. And so, you know, like I would love to partner with Patrick, but my background, I've generally been a right side player too. So I've really tried to work hard on my left side game and playing more. I didn't really even start playing mixed doubles in tournaments until a couple of years ago. So it was almost never on that side. And so that's just that's a work in progress. And it's something that I'm just really working hard so that I can, you know, fill that role when it's appropriate. And, you know, again, it's just a work in progress for me, but it's a fun challenge.
Mm-hmm. And you
Well,
mentioned,
John, go ahead, Jen.
I haven't partnered with Shay or Patrick. I get to later this month with Shay, which will be fine when George is unavailable. But John I was so lucky to play with him several times when we were teammates on Austin last year. And I had some of this very cerebral, like John Sperling, half the time. And then I would have John. And one time I said, I'm so sorry. I promise I will not miss that forehand again. He goes, you can miss it again, hit it again. I don't know, it's pickleball. Have fun out there. And then we went in 2 because he's like, you're just so good at not putting too much importance on it. Remember when Danny Werfel said that? We said, why do you win always in 3? He's like, I don't make it that important. And you just like, we're having fun. Like, it was so much fun because when you can be relaxed and supported and your partner's not mad at you, this game's just more fun. So I'm sure you guys have encountered that with John as well, that if you like, you know, we go for our big forehands, if we swing and miss, we also, you know, George says all the time, he's like, the 7 shots you got, you're going to miss some. You know, John and Shay have these big shots, so you don't get them all. You know, David and Patrick are more consistent and they don't miss a lot. But then, you know, some of these big shots, you know, it's just different styles. But so, yeah, it's fun having a partner that doesn't get mad or roll his eyes and those kinds of things. And just, I mean, it's pickleball after all, right?
Well, I told Jen I wasn't going to ask this, but I changed my mind because I do see such like different approaches to the game. And so this is what I do for a living. I wanted to ask you a little bit about goals. See, I look at Jen's reaction on her face. She already was like, don't do it. But but anyway, I wanted to know, like, do you have goals? Do you strive for goals? Are you mainly living in the moment? Like, I like to ask elite players, elite people in life, successful people, these questions on and off the court in different sports, kind of their approaches, because I think everyone has slightly different approaches, and I'm still trying to figure out my approach. But Patrick, you're very thoughtful. And do you have pickleball goals? Do you go into a weekend, I'm trying to do this or that? Or tell me a little bit about your approach kind of before you're playing.
Yeah, I guess I get a couple goals. My first goal is to be number 1, because I always try to, you know, go for the top and really practice. And sometimes I'm very confident in myself because I do put the time. You know, I go play with the ball machine, and, you know, I really do feel like if you're going to claim a goal, then you have to back it up and do something that's going to allow. Otherwise, it feels like it's just it shouldn't be a goal. You can talk about it all day, but if you don't do anything about it, it's not worth it. And then when I look back at my matches most of the time, knowing that, you know, again, it is, you know, we're playing professional league, but it still isn't like, you know, the same reward financially as a tennis athlete. So it's not like my whole life is more depending on my teaching, for instance. So when I do look back at my game, you know, one of my goal is to be a happy person in life, which means also to be more relaxed on the court. And as per the first question, is just to try to be better as, you know, being a good person, which I find it very easy off the court. You know, my challenge comes when I'm wanting to win, wanting to be number one, and having to deal with all of the elements that are presenting to me at the moment when I have to manage my emotions that are taking me to, you know, places I don't necessarily want to be. So I guess that's one of my goals, is to continue to be a better person, really, and to just have fun out there no matter what. Because in the end, it's really not about winning. When I lose and I play good, I'm happy. But the other challenge for me is when I play with 3 other people on my court, the other 2 have the right to do whatever they want. My partner can also use their strength and hit the ball hard, which isn't exactly the way I want to manage my game. So there's a lot of elements that are challenging. So one of my goals is, aside from being as best as I possibly can with my rating and my ranking, but also to continue my progress as to be a good person, because there's so much friendship to be had in this environment. And so that's really important to me as well.
Oh my
David,
gosh, I could go on and on. I appreciate your answers. I even took some literal notes there, but I won't. I'll let someone else answer, or both of you, if you would like, about goals.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, I used to have the goal to be top 10 and senior pro. But then I was thinking, like, okay, what if I get there? Do I just stop? No, I don't know. If I have a revenue goal in business, if I get it, do I just stop there? Do I create another one? I mean, what is the purpose of some of these goals?
I would agree with you. I think goals are ridiculous. I think they're stupid. I think they lead to a worse life. We have this debate all the time. I think you're right. I mean, I don't think you need that goal in order to be a good person and a good player. I actually think it inhibits you from both of those things, actually. But anyway, that's my opinion. I tend to agree with Shay. All right, John, what do you think?
Well, I don't know about that. My dad would disagree very vehemently on that. He's always been a person who's set goals and wrote down goals all through from childhood all the way through. And I'm just, you know, I wish I had followed him in that philosophy, because he achieved most of his goals. And you know, I've done fine. I have a wonderful life, wonderful family, and absolutely no complaints. When it comes to pickleball specifically, my 2 goals are to master the 2-handed backhand roll. It is just elusive, but I'm going to continue to do it. I can do it in practice all day long.
I've seen it.
But when it gets to the game, it's a little bit more difficult. So I got to get that down. And then, you know, number 2 that we talked again about yesterday is just find a way to start quickly and start playing on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, with full energy and confidence and just in a relaxed state. That has been mostly elusive as well. So that's a real goal for me to figure that piece out.
Yeah, I'm a slow starter too. I think in tennis, we had so much time. You know, really the better player will win most of the time in tennis. Like you've got 3 sets. Every 3 set, I always won 3 sets, but I'd lose a lot of first sets. Pickleball's not like that. It gets too close, especially 1 by 1. Like a little dribbler can happen. It's a plastic ball. So we don't have quite as much control. I feel like I had more confidence in tennis. But it's just, you know, things happen. You have a great shot and just, I don't know how you miss these sometimes. But so with a game to 11 and, you know, and things, it isn't as, I don't know, there's little things can happen in this 1 by 1. How many 11-10s have you guys had? Lots.
Do not mention that.
The curse of the 11-10.
I could go on and on.
All right, we gotta move on to the fun segment.
I could agree with Shay, whatever. So here's a question from actually Jen's twin sister. She is in the entertainment business in Las Vegas. And she said, ask this because she interviews professional athletes all the time. And she wanted to know, do any of you have any pre-match rituals, superstitions, anything like that?
Start with John. No?
I'm with Shay.
Apparently I have to figure one out. So I'm open to suggestions.
All right.
Maybe that's why I haven't been doing as well.
Like Daryl listens to what's that song? I Can Feel It Coming in the Air Tonight. That song.
Yeah.
With the drum
Collins.
sequence, and he plays that drum sequence.
And only that song. It's not music. Only that song.
Yep.
You can't talk to him. You can't anything. You can't go over a game plan. Oh, listen, I've been scouting. I know this guy. You've never played him before. Do this. He's like, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, any pre-match rituals?
I don't really have any, to be honest with you. But when I hear you saying about the music, I do think that I always make it a plan. I bring my headphones the whole bit, and I always say when I put music in my ears, I tend to have good energy, right? It stimulates me, it makes me happy. And I keep saying I will do this, and I have my headphones, but I end up talking to people, so I never get to listen. But I do think it's definitely an enhancer, as I should do this before I start, because it just pumps me up and it gets ready to go. So, yeah.
Pumps me.
All right, I have one more question. This is my question I always ask. Tell us something about yourself that people might be surprised to find out about you.
Something we wouldn't know. Yeah.
Well, everybody would know that I speak French because I have an accent, so that can be it. But I actually, I enjoy competing and shooting pool, billiards.
Oh, okay.
I recently moved, but I was playing in 2 pool leagues before, so I do like to shoot pool, and most anything that requires precision is I kind of like to attempt those anyway.
Kind of makes sense. Shay, anything surprising about yourself?
I think a lot of people know that 2012, our flag football team won the Sao Paulo championships ahead of 19 other teams. And we played in a big stadium in the final, and it was awesome.
I
remember reading about that.
Nice. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
I guess
For
we're
me,
still living on that moment. All right, John.
for me, maybe it's the fact that I'm the type of guy who is walking down the street and there's an ant crossing and I'm going to jump over it. I love insects. And my daughter is an entomologist for the state of California, Fish and Wildlife. And so she's kind of followed in those steps, and have a story for another time that Chris Miller might be able to share from a couple of years ago in Seattle.
So you don't
That's
step
so
on
cool.
you don't step on the spider.
I do not.
Told you he's
I
such a
take
nice guy.
spiders. I take a jar, get them out, take them outside.
I do that too.
Yes.
Yep.
That
And your
makes
son's
more
a
sense.
professional baseball player. He's with the shout out to his team.
The
What's
Brewers. Yeah.
Brewers, Milwaukee.
He's in the Brewers organization. He just unfortunately had Tommy John surgery, but it went fantastically well. We were in Arlington, Texas for that last week, or was it the week before? And now he's back out in Arizona and starting his rehab. So it's a long road back, but everything's gonna be
He'll
good.
do well. They do really well with that surgery. He'll be great.
I should have put my St. Louis Cardinals banner more front and center so you could see it. So I've never been more disappointed to find out that a good friend son made the big leagues and they were on the Milwaukee team. It was like, oh, it could be worse. They could play for the Cubs.
Oh, no.
That would
Okay,
be
we got to
worse.
move on. Okay, we got
That
to
would be
go. Let's
worse.
have fun. Okay, so we're going to do like a little segment, like fast hands. We're going to ask you a question, and then you guys just say, John, Shay, Patrick, who's most likely to? Okay, so you guys just.
Among
Yeah, feel
us
free to
only.
speak in the
Between-
third. Yeah,
Yeah, among us.
Yeah. David,
Yeah,
you don't
okay.
get to answer. Okay. Like, we want to know, it's like two's company, three's a crowd. Let's go. Okay. So anyway, okay, let's see. Well, we know this one. Who's
Patrick,
most likely to like throw their paddle and swear on the court?
Who do you think?
that's
100% wrong.
an
That
easy.
would be me. It depends. My friends would say in rec,
in
absolutely.
rec-
In tournaments,
Really?
not so much. Yeah. It's embarrassing.
Patrick is so calm this year. I'm serious.
We're gonna
Like
pull
I've
the
seen
league
him-
at the bottom. Who are you guys voting for? I think it's going to be 99% Cote. Okay, who's most likely to skydive?
Hey,
Patrick.
It's got to be Cote.
You wouldn't do it?
I'm the opposite.
Who is most likely to go all out for the theme parties Friday night?
Oh, for
Steve
us?
Dawson.
Steve Dawson, exactly. I mean,
Dawson.
you have to go outside the group.
Steve Dawson and Jen Dawson, they
100%
crush
Steve
every
Dawson.
time. I mean,
They do.
he looked amazing at the 1920s party. Let's see, who would be most likely to be like a front man in a band?
Shay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Who's injured most often?
Not me.
John had an injury last year, remember? I had a
Yeah, well, that's true. That did happen. But I continued to play at your encouragement.
yeah, you
Uh-huh.
You had to chase down all those Tom Tuller little drops and resets because, okay, who is most likely to, let's see. Dave, you have any good ones? Go to the bar. Visit the bar at 3 o'clock on Sunday. None of you.
Patrick?
I don't drink,
even know.
Probably me because I shoot pool
Yeah.
and I like the good micheladas.
That would be me about 10 years ago, but nowadays, pickleball, you got to stay in shape.
Right,
That's
we're
right.
so boring now, Jen. We just like we
Yeah.
play pickleball, then we shoot pool and throw darts and play badminton. That's the wild life.
Exactly. You have any questions, Dave? You have any fun ones?
Who's most likely to eat all the snacks in the players' lounge?
Jeez, that's just so obvious. Sorry. That's me.
Who's most likely to forget their uniform or shoes or something important?
Probably me.
Patrick?
Or I don't
Okay.
know where I left it. Sometimes I'm about to go play and I'm like, where's my paddle? And
Your
I'm just
paddle.
annoyed with myself. Can I just tape it to myself?
Who's most likely to dive on the court?
Oh, Shay, you drew blood in Daytona. I remember that.
That's true.
You know,
That's true.
Okay.
I think that
We'll
was
go
more
with
of a
Shay.
trip, though.
That's
it wasn't a Hula Roque. A
I think
dive.
it was just
A
a
Rich
plain
Lopez.
trip.
Rich
But it
Lopez.
worked out well. We didn't lose a point after that.
You guys played great. That was an awesome tournament. So, all right. I don't have any more. Do you have any more, Dave?
I got one more question. I
Okay.
wanted to know, let's say the other two weren't available. No one on your team is available, right? And who would your first call be to get a sub to play with you in the NPL?
That's
It could
good.
be real or fictional. It could be someone that's actually in the pickleball world or maybe not in the pickleball world. Who would be your dream partner?
Well, I mean, I've got one that I played in the NPL last year. Well, let's see. You know what? I'm going to punt on this one. I'll come back to me.
All right, Shay, you have a dream partner?
I mean, I think Jack Monroe would be fun to play with.
Oh, yeah.
It was so much fun. It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Shay, Patrick, a dream partner?
I think I'd probably pick Steve Deacon
Wow.
because he's Canadian, he's amazing, and he's over 52, so he would actually probably qualify.
Wait, so I didn't even know Steve was Canadian. Do you Canadians stick together? You have your own little club?
I don't know, not really, but I just know Steve Deacon is amazing, so I'd
He's a
have.
great player, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess
Okay, so I'm ready now. So Pete Aldridge, who was on Coachella last year, and I continue to play with him now, and he is, he won Wimbledon doubles in in the 80s, and he has phenomenal skills, but he's just gotten better and better and better. So he would be a fun partner to play with.
Yeah.
I know it's just getting better and better all the time, isn't it? There's just those darn 49-year-olds are coming in, it's just, and people
Yeah.
are fitter and faster and better. I mean, there's just so much good competition all the way through. So it's just a blast.
I do have a question. Does any of you think we should lower the age to, let's say, either 45 years old or 40 years old?
Hell no, we should raise it to 54.
Right. I was starting to say, like, can we raise it to
59.
52? Yeah, exactly.
59 and over.
We don't want to lower it. Patrick, what are you thinking? I'm
Patrick, are you
barely
like
holding on
50?
as it is.
Yeah, I'm at 50. Yeah.
No, you've been playing for 2 years. You're 52 like me. How old are you?
I'll be 51
He's
next
50,
month.
believe it or not.
Oh, he's a baby.
Wow.
And there's all these 49-year-olds in the league, like I played with, like Sabrina, she's new in the league. She's playing great for Coachella. We had a great match, but there's all these I know a bunch from Chicago coming in next year. So they were just awesome. But anyway, you guys, thanks so much for coming on a show and predictions for Austin. We're all going to be together. You can't say your own team. Who's one, who's two? After OKC, we'll say.
I would say that, are we playing Coachella or are we playing Seattle?
Coachella.
Both.
Coachella. Okay, then Seattle has a chance.
That's right.
Good answer.
Seattle has a chance. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't play Seattle. So yeah, Seattle. We'll go with Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Seattle is from even before the season started out, I had my eye on them and I was like, man, these guys really have a very strong team.
They do. Yeah. Your
And
math.
they're showing. They
Andrew.
play very, very strong at all positions. So they're really
Don't sleep on Naples. They have turned things around.
They sure
I
have.
agree.
We always thought they were good at the beginning of the year. They just struggled a little bit, but I think they're talent-wise, they're definitely one of the top teams.
No, and they've made adjustments, and they have so many legends of the game, Mary Helen and Chris Cargis and Jaime, and then they're so deep with Christy Dorman and Troy. I mean, they're just deep, and Mario, and I mean, it's all the way through. So they've made adjustments. They're not just sticking with the same thing, thinking. So they've tried different partnerships, and I think they're going to be a very strong contender all season long. And if our team gets healthy, we're in the thick of it. So I think we'll be fat. You're going to be back, right? What? I talked to Scott. He's fine. So we're going to be good.
All right.
So, all right. Well, you guys, thanks again so much.
For me, David, please come back. I don't want to hear from Dan Gold that he played #1 again.
Oh my gosh, I could go on and on about Daniel Gold. I can't. I mean, I hesitate to bring him up because he's going to listen to this and be like, "Hey, you talked about me again."
Oh yeah.
But you should have seen one match. I've never seen someone get more out of like 4 Pod 1 losses than him, just like peacocking around, like, look how great I am. So
Daniel Gold, making sure be sure to mention me, Jen. He
Oh
must
my
mention
gosh.
every podcast. Well, then of course he and I come in at the end. We always play the tiebreaker together because, like, okay, we just want you guys to hit the crap out of the ball twice. Because we're supposed to have a lead because Daryl and David are supposed to get us a lead, but somebody was injured. So it's like bag me. We're down 7-10. We got it all the way back to 10-all. And he told me not to take his forehand. And of course we let it go between us and end up losing those 11-10s in the tiebreaker. But
all right,
yeah,
we're cutting this part. We're not mentioning Daniel Gold.
Yeah.
We're
Hey, Daniel,
it.
you're
Let's
welcome.
go.
Thank
Let's
you.
wrap this up. Let's wrap it up.
My
All
bad.
right.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you both.
You guys
Talk
are
to you
awesome.
later.
Thank you so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
so much.
Thanks.
All right, Jen, I just got one question for you. I think I will ask you one of the questions I asked our guest
Okay.
each time. Tell me something about yourself. People might be surprised to know.
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, everyone knows I'm a twin. I have a twin sister, born and raised in Idaho, came to Chicago for college tennis, but I missed my college graduation because I'm a twin, because my parents could only go to one, to play a beach volleyball tournament, and I won $500 in '94. So there you go.
Okay.
Kind of like how Shay didn't, you talked about his what did he win? Flag football.
Flag football, if you're
Yeah,
paying
so
attention.
anyway, I think we all just love sports at all, not just pickleball. So what about you, David? What's something we wouldn't know?
I mean, maybe you're not surprised, but I'd rather read a book than talk to anyone else. People are kind of boring and more of a nuisance. And my favorite activity
Agree.
is playing pinball because you do that by yourself. I listen to my heavy metal music, play pinball, and just zone out. That way I don't have to talk to anyone.
Did you say people are boring?
Yeah, they're boring.
Yeah, you're so wrong. No, people are awesome.
Okay. all right.
Anyway, okay, that's
Agree to
enough about
disagree.
us.
All right, whatever.
Thank you for joining our show. Thank you to our sponsors, Selkirk and QC Kinetics.
Hey, you got it right this time.
For supporting the league. And our next up is Austin. All 12 teams will be there in August. Can't wait. And we'll wrap it up and give you guys updates after Austin. Thanks so much.